it's a big structure here. These are the structures you can see. They are stupa. Stupa, it is a religious monument for the Buddhist people. So this stupa generally there are four different type of stupa. One type of stupa which contains some part of the body, like a teacher, like monk, their part of body. And some literature has mentioned that which part of the body to be kept as a relics. They mention that either it is a hair, or a nail, or a teeth, or bone of a forehead, or a bone of a right arm. Any one of that part of the body to be kept as a relics, and they make a stupa. So that type of stupa is called the relic stupa or sararira bodily stupa. Second type of stupa, it is a dhamma stupa. Dhamma means it is a teaching of the Buddha. That teaching is written either in a terracotta or a wood or a leaf or a bark or a paper or a metal. They write some sutra and they keep in the center and make a stupa. That is called the Dhamma stupa. Third type of stupa is called the paribhoga or belonging. Some teacher, their alms ball, or maybe their lipstick, or maybe their umbrella, or maybe their dress, chiver, whatever they use it, they keep that and they make a stupa. That is a third type of stupa. Fourth type of stupa is called the commemorative stupa. Maybe the teacher is living in America, he passed away. His disciple, they came to Lumbini, they make a small stupa in the memory of the teacher. So they pray that stupa, they burn the incense, they burn the chame or wild lamp, and that is called the votive stupa. So in Lumbini, this is the Dhamma stupa. When I was repairing this, it was excavated by seniors. When I was repairing in the center, I got the 16 small terracotta tablets. And there were some, the letters. So that gave me that it is some teaching of the Buddha, in a terracotta, they put it. So this is a Dhamma stupa. In here, this one is a group of stupa. There are, many stupas. You can see some are circle, some are square. This is the group of stupa. So they are all votive stupa. It is not we didn't find any relics, no any object. It is simply, it was constructed in the memory of the teacher. For example, this is here. This is original old one. Some followers, they came and they made a stupa in this corner here. This is a votive one. This is not the same period. This is a later period. So stupa altogether in Lumbini, we have a 31 stupa. Many stupas are underground. We have not excavated it. So far that we have excavated, we have a 31 stupa. Out of that, this is a stupa where we got the Dhamma stupa. Just the back side of you, there is a 16 stupa. A small circle, there are 16. It is believed that there were 16 monks living in Lumbini. After they left this area, to commemorate they were here, so the disciples, they built the 16 stupa in the memory of the teacher. So that is called the 16 stupa in the memory of the teachers. So like that you come here. Namaste, namaste. Hello, teacher. This is the monastery. Monastery is, monastery is for two purposes. One is for residence, other monastery is for the meditation. So we have two blocks here. There is hardly 5 feet of gap. So this is a residential block. This monastery goes back to 2nd century BC. But this is a older. This is from 3rd century. Oh yes, it is from 3rd century BC to 4th century AD. But they put this signboard. It was not there before. And this is from 2nd century BC. So we have, can you see a little further, there is a, this iron bar, I put it, there is a well. So the well is used for the monk, for the drinking water, for washing their clothes, and that is inside the monastery. And these are the residential rooms, and this one is a hall. If you see this hall, so the monk they gather together and they have some religious discussion and all that. For this side, the rooms are smaller. It is not the residence. You can come closer and you see that it is for individual monk. They sit and they meditate it. Just seeing this thickness of the wall, this structure must be double stories or triple stories tall building. So the earliest, the construction, it was in the 3rd century BC. When Ashoka came to Lumbini, it goes back to the Ashoka period. And it continued up to 4th century. So the new group of people, they came, they added more, more structure on the top. This is how it's a overlapping of these structures from 3rd to 4th century AD. So here we go this way. This is the pond. This is where the mother of Buddha had a bath before giving birth to the child. The story of Lumbini is that, around 7th, 6th century BC, geographically, this area, there were 2 kingdoms. West of Lumbini was a Kapilvastu kingdom. East of Lumbini was a Devadaha kingdom. In the west of Lumbini, it was ruled by the Sakya. Sakya, they were the tribe. East, they were the Koliyas. There were another tribe. And Sakya and Koliyas, they had a matrimonial alliances, relationship. Sakya used to marry the Koliyas and Koliya used to marry the Sakya. So the distance between 2 kingdoms, Kapilavastu to Devadaha, it was around 70 kilometers. Today, Kapilavastu is 28 kilometers from here. Other side is a 42 kilometer east is Devadaha. So during that time, the mode of transportation, we found only 3 different type of mode of transportation. Especially the common people, local people, they use the bullock cart. It is a 2 bull, the pull by 2 bull is a small cart. So the general people, even today in Tarai, it is a very popular mode of transportation in Tarai. And the business people, rich people, they have a horse chariot. But the royalties, they used to travel by palanquin. Palanquin is a small cart carried by the people. So the 70 kilometers from Kapilvastu to Devadaha, 70 kilometers, it was not possible to travel in a single day. They used to come somewhere in the middle, spend a night, and next day they used to go to their respective places. So when they come in the middle, then they need some sort of, the facilities. Some guest house, some restaurant, when you have a bullock cart and all that, you have some grazing land or some entertaining, evening entertaining, maybe some small alcoholic shop or something like that. That village is from here just a 400 meters south of this direction. There is a village. There is an archaeological mound. That mound this is the photograph of that mound. There was a building called police station. It's a new building. We made a small trench. This is my trench. Can you see a small trench here? So we made a trench here. We went down and we checked the archaeological deposit of this mound. From this mound, OASL dating, optimizing luminescing dating, I got it 1360 BC. Almost like a 600-700 years before the Sakyamuni Buddha was born here. So on this mound was the ancient village where the Maya, she came while she was going to her parents' house. She came and she stayed here. Evening time, carrying a baby in her womb, she came to enjoy the beautiful garden of Lumbini. She was walking very leisurely, enjoying the beauty of Lumbini. Suddenly she felt a pain. She realized that it is a time to give a birth or delivery time. So immediately She came to this pond. This pond was like this. This was a very natural pond. What you see today is created later on. This is the natural, this is the pond. You come here. This is the pond. This the same pond you can see. Before 1939, the pond was like this. It was an east-west, it was a long elongated, even up to here, the pond. 6 feet I found it, it was towards east. So she just had a bath in this pond, purify herself. She came out to the north, other side. The pain was more severe. She was searching some support. So she saw inside this building, we'll go later on, inside the building there was a tree. So she went to that tree. She just gripped a hold that branch of that tree. The other ladies who were with her, they covered her with the clothes. And by standing position, she gave birth to her child. And the news reached to the village. Queen has given a birth to a baby. Immediately, village people, they brought that stone piece and they put it in the spot where the child first touched the ground. So we found that stone, as I mentioned, that we'll see later on. It was in 1996 we discovered that one. So this pole, this present set was created 1939 by Kesar Samser. In Kathmandu, we have a Kesar library. The same Kesar Samser, he enlarged this statue. Unfortunately, he didn't left any report. Thanks God I got this photograph from the Kesar library. So this is, because in a brick veneering, I saw the number 1939, there is a date on the brick. So then I decided that it was created by Kesar Samser in 1939. Okay, now we go to the pillar. Pillar, you know, as I mentioned to you that it was erected by Emperor Ashoka. Actually, this is a sandstone. This is a sedimentary rock. So erected by Emperor Ashoka. That's why we often call it Ashoka pillar. That generally, this is the stone pillar. So Ashoka, when he made a pilgrimage in 20th year of his coronation, that is a 249 BC, he brought this pillar along with him and he erected here. So the most important part of this pillar, generally this is a single monolithic pillar. It's a sandstone and sedimentary rock. Pillar used to have a 3-part. This is a monolithic block. On the top of this block, you can see this is the bracket figure. This is the second part. And on the top, this is a crowning part. So pillar used to have a 3-part. So when he came here, he brought the horse capital. Because when the Xuanzang Chinese pilgrims, he came in 7th century AD, he mentioned that I saw the pillar erected by Ashoka Raja. He said Raja, the king. The horse pillar is lying on the ground. The pillar is split in the center. You can see this is split, which Xuanzang has mentioned it. And he said it is due to lightning. Due to lightning, the pillar is cracked in the center and the horse capital was fallen in the ground. And this bracket figure, this one, he mentioned that it is also broken into 2 halves and lying on the base of the pillar. So this is the, this part. Can you see? This is the capital. This is here. So it is a 2-part. So we just join this 2-part, and in the bit, in the middle, we have some Adelaide. This one, it was on the top here. So this is a horse, as per the Chinese pilgrims mentioned that. So it's a, this, I just thought of making this one. And when the Ashoka brought this pillar, the original ground level was here. The today's ground level is here, almost like it is a 4 feet above the original ground level. So the pillar from bottom to top, at the bottom, there is a brick foundation and pillar is inserted in this brick foundation. So pillar from here to here today, it is a 30 feet 10.5 inch, almost like a 7.5 meter tall. And from ground to top, it is a 17 feet, and below is 13 feet 10.5 inch. If you see the engineering of this pillar at the bottom, it is a 8.6 feet is circumferences, and the top 6.2 is a 2 feet tapering from the bottom to top, and made. It's not. It's made by hand. I mean the people. It's not by machine, and so smooth you can see it. And after this pillar they completed in the quarry, I went to see the quarry. Still there are few pieces are lying on the quarry with some inscription. So Ashoka erected almost like a 40 pillars in his empire. Out of this 40 pillars, we archaeologists, we discovered 20 pillars. And on the capital, for this one, some places he introduced elephant, some places lion, some places bull, and here it is a horse. Elephant is, there is a story of Maya Devi. While she was sleeping, she dreamt what elephant came and entered in her womb. Just to, the elephant is regarded as a bodhisattva. So many pillar you can see the elephant on the top of as a capital. Lion. Lion is like a Sakya Singha. Sakya were like a lion of this universe. And not only that, the lions roar. Once a lion roars, it's a big sound. So Buddha's teachings are like a lion's roar. Bull is very innocent and strong animal. Sakyas were like a bull, they were very strong, but they were innocent like a bull. So this is a full animal they introduced as the capital of his Ashoka's pillar. Unfortunately, the capital is broken and is lost. I tried to find many years, I searched for that. But I got many small pieces, not the huge part. The most important part of this inscription. This inscription is from 3rd century BC. The script is called the Brahmi script. The language is called Pali. Pali was a very common language during that time. So it's a 4.5 line. There are 90 letters and 26 words. The first line says that, it is a title of Emperor Ashoka. Devana Piyana Priyadasina. I'm beloved of the God. Priyadasi, everybody, they like me. I'm a good looking. 20th year of my coronation. Second line says, Agana Agacha Mahite. I myself came to this place. Emperor is mentioning that I came myself. Why he came? He the Buddha Jate Sakyamuniti. Here the Sakyamuni Buddha was born. It's very clearly mentioned. Third line says that Sila Bigadapicha. I worship that stone, which we discovered, I showed you, it's inside that. I worship that stone where Buddha was born. To commemorate my visit, I erected this pillar, Sila Thabecha. And he mentioned that Hidam Bhagabam Jatiti. Here the Bhagabam means it's not like a god. In a Pali, Bhagabam means those who doesn't have any greed, doesn't have any no greed, no enemy. So they are like a Bhagabam. So he was born here. So lumbini was tax reduced. It shows that lumbini, it was a part of his empire. So he came and he reduced the taxes. So this is one of the most, beautifully written document of the birthplace of the Buddha in Lumbini. And it is well protected.
Yeah, you wonder why someone would protect something that says they don't have to pay so many taxes.
Yes. But one more thing is that, I'm fed up with that. When the Taiwanese and the Thai, they bring their perfume. No photography.